Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vertigo Gaming versus Fangirls. I know it's a bit of an interesting start already, considering as the team name is something that I wish I had some of. But hey-ho, to get things started for a beautiful match of Counter-Strike action, we've got the pistol, it's Nuke, it's a best of one, it's ESEA Open, it is Vertigo Gaming, currently 2-0 in their division so far. They're now looking to try and extend themselves to 3-0. So far this season, they've only ended up dropping 4 rounds throughout 2 matches. 16-0 and a 16-4. You have to look to see if they can convert this pistol. And off to a good start already. That 4 is not going to turn up to a 5 just yet. Vertigo Gaming will get things off to a tasty old start as they go 1-0 up. Excuse me. There we go. Sorting out a few technical things, and we're good to roll. So to move forward into this one, if you're just new around here or you don't know what's going on, my name is Bofferz. I'm casting for a lot of the Vertigo games this season. Maybe not all, we'll see how it goes. But to get things started, there's your context. We know what Vertigo's history is to get here, and they're looking pretty good at this point. So Vertigo, 1-0 start. Are now going to be patiently playing outside behind smokes, looking for heads on top of the silo, of which they've already found. TMS off to a good one with the first frag of the round, leaving Fangirls a little bit more hamstrung, dropping one of the AKs that they've forced into this round with that frag too. TMS going one better and taking a second down with him. Now a third, that's another one of those AKs dropped, leaving just an AK and a Galil remaining from this 4-sport side. Ron, up from above, manages to grab 2 from the spray down on top of the silo, but not without taking significant damage himself. Down to 38 points of health, and I believe Schmidt here might have just spotted someone dancing around out back. As Sorrow goes to try and retrieve the AK and help out his teammate. Obviously here, Vertigo need to just hold things down for the moment. They have still got 2 MP9s, so this one still can very quickly fall away from them. Looking to try and gain a little bit of information, do a little bit of reconnaissance, try and figure out where these 2 remaining Ts are going to be going. It's in a really pressed up position here, and he can play spoiler if any of these Ts decide that they want to go through the main lobby. But for the time being, it looks like that is not going to be the case. The MP9 of Azanji has already opened things up with 1, leaving just Ron on even less points of health than what he was initially on. Now, he'll get swung on by the MP9, and that will be a frag destined for Azanji's MP9. And also an AK cleaned up as a result of that too. So Vertigo Gaming managed to repel the force buy of Fangirls, getting themselves up to a 2-0 start. This should be a clean third round here. They'll only be up against upgraded pistols. There won't be a wealth of armor available for the German side here. They'll have to just kind of just suck up this one, really. They don't have many other choices, many other options. It looks like they're going to try and go for something a little bit quick, but already that's been dealt with quite nicely by some nades, by some Molotovs, and already Ron has been taken out the round. Deagle's hitting onto Schmidt. He's going to back on down. Call for the assistance of Puffin, who throws the incendiary to block off the path of the Ts trying to get towards ramp. The Ts have also expended all of their utility with Ron falling. So we'll have to brute force whatever they want to accomplish here with nothing more than the pistols. And that is certainly a little bit more difficult than one might anticipate. You can see that Science is already thinking about rotating away. Players, as a result, are now starting to get a little bit anxious about where they want to end up. Puffin has an easy spray down of 2 here before Kazo can swing in and get himself the trade frag. But that's a 2-for-1. That's very handy for the Vertigo side. They'll take those every day, keeping the man advantages firmly planted in their favour. The only irritating thing here for the Vertigo side is they have, unfortunately, given that AK back over to the one player on the T side who has armor. So the unfortunate problem there is that they have to contend with this rather potent one-shot weapon. But TMS playing reserved, playing back here, just waiting for anyone to start pushing up towards heaven. It seems this is already not going to be the case. Schmidt has been down here in the back of the B site, behind the silo for the best part of this round since he was tagged down early. And now the swing comes out. Azanji gets tapped on down, but there's no ammo left in the clip really here, and it's a pincer maneuver. TMS is coming in from behind. Schmidt's just keeping him occupied. Kazo really didn't stand much of a chance. Lovely work from Vertigo as they execute the round. Probably taking a few more losses than they'd have originally wanted to do. But hey-ho, it is what it is. You've now got the AWP up onto Puffin. You'll have adequate money to buy up armor with flashbangs and smokes with that too. Ron will also be able to get himself the AK, as along with the rest of his teammates. However, Fangirls are already going to start putting themselves in a bit of a problem economically soon. You can see here that already, with just what they have, money and reserves is what I'm talking about. As soon as they lose this round, if they do, that is, they will be finding themselves in a world of pain. It'll be back onto a half buy at the very best case scenario. At worst case, an eco. Already, though, Puffin is landing AWP shots outside. It feels like, you know, a couple of inevitabilities in life. Puffin landing AWP shots, death and taxes. But finally, Pitvel gets himself a frag into these gun rounds. Flashbang's over, but not really going to do much from this situation. Still got a little bit of utility remaining on Pitvel, but the question is, how do you get into the site here? Edging through the side of the smoke might be an opportunity to give you a frag, but it seems that's already been transgressed as Azanji manages to take out his teammate, leaving Pitvel 1 versus 3. Just brings it to a 1 versus 2 before he's executed by TMS, but hey, a resilient effort regardless. Vertigo get up to 4-0. Puffin maintains control of that AWP. And also maintains control of his own welfare as well. He'll get himself a drop over towards his teammate. That will go to Azanji, TMS. And they'll be very happy moving forward. You can see the half buy, as I called it, is coming right out right away. Fangirls don't really have a plethora of things to work with. And that is not going to be a great start either. Chucking a grenade on towards yourselves. Inflict copious amounts of damage, thankfully, for the T's. They're just going to try and stall this one out. Installing it out here probably isn't the worst idea in the world if you can get the CTs to overextend, walk into these deagles and walk into these pistols. You will find some success, but that is only in the eventuality that the CTs do overextend. And let's just say that Vertigo Gaming don't really make a habit of making mistakes like that. They're very well disciplined, very well drilled. And won't give up advantages like that just that easy. See, they're just keeping things perpetually blocked off. So that Fangirls, even though they're trying to take areas of the map, don't really get much by way of information. But the HE grenade's doing the big damage. Ron actually managing to grab Azanji from top of the hut. But unfortunately for him, the weapon doesn't drop. He's able to get down the vent, though, in time. And also block off his pursuers. This will now call for the starting pistol on the ramp assault. The AWP is there. It's holding strong. Puffin is now going to get forced back. He doesn't want to go and stand in that Molotov, but can hold an angle on the cross. Going to get tapped back, forced away, but nothing is going to fall. There's already players inside the site here at B, though. Schmidt will pick his opportune moment to pounce. 2 players swing onto the Galil, and that'll be the end of that. Puffin will try and seal the round now with the AWP, leaving just Ron, who really has nothing to work with. First player in, last player out. 5-0 start for Vertigo Gaming. Very convincing. Following true to form from what they've been showing so far in ESEA Open. Like I mentioned earlier, only 4 rounds dropped throughout the course of the season so far, and that record is still maintaining here in their 3rd match. Fangirls are yet to get off the mark. Looks like already it's going to be a quick take outside. Set smokes have gone out here from Fangirls, 2 of them to try and cover off in towards Secret. It seems they're not moving quickly enough on this, though, for it to actually be all that effective. I'm a bit confused as to the overall take here, because soon these smoke grenades are going to go, and you're going to have made no progress in towards the secret position. Puffin will almost certainly call this one out, and he'll be waiting towards the bottom of the staircase where he's retreated to for any of these players when they do eventually come down secret. But again, they're really pumping the brakes on this one. Sorrow is just kind of waiting here to see if anyone's going to rear their head. And Puffin is, of course, down there, but I don't think he's going to. It's not an angle you want to try and clear with an AWP. Instead, he'll wait patiently and take Sorrow down with him. He absconds back in towards the B site. TMS will now be called to court. Try and hold things down outside. Hazo is going to look to try and instigate already, but he's missed the initial shot. Manages to get TMS back on the transition. A little bit of a blunder there from the side of Vertigo, not communicating their full control of outside and just letting TMS meander across. Nonetheless, exchange is still going down, and that AWP has just been very quickly dispatched as Azenji catches a quick headshot. Now looks for another one as he's shoulder peeking his way in towards the site. Azenji grabs his second of the round. Puffin will die in the process, leaving Ron now to try and go 1 versus 2. He has no information on where Schmidt is, unfortunately, but has Azenji at least somewhere nearby. It doesn't matter, though. Azenji is too quick on the draw. He'll manage to pick him off, take him down. And they won't even need to worry about recovering the AWP because the money is so strong, they can just buy that back. And now we're going to be into a pretty odd situation here for the T's. If they get a buy on any of these rounds, it will be because they've got a bomb plant or have 5th stage loss bonus. So they're fully investing pretty much every round here with how cheap the T side is compared to the CT. So we should have quite a few gun rounds moving forward. It's just a question as to whether Vertigo Gaming are going to be able to repel them. It seems already, even with an MP9, they're doing just that. The Galil can't chase it down fast enough. Now the AK stands tall in the doorway to try and keep them at bay. Schmidt takes a bit of damage in the process, but Azenji almost certainly here will capitalize on the disaster of a response that Fangirls were able to give. Going to do it again as he rotates towards Squeaky Door. That's going to be almost certainly an inevitability for a 7th round here as Schmidt gets boosted up to a one and done position in the ramp room, but this will allow plenty of rotate potential for the CTs now if he's in this position. It gives them a lot of maneuverability, gives them a lot of opportunities to try and make their way around the map into positions that can help out and cover sites a little bit easier. With Azenji falling in the way that he just has, though, that might hinder that particular notion. But TMS is actually snuck by here, and if they do elect to go in towards the A site, Plan and TMS might be able to do it, but it's just Plan by himself, doesn't need the assistance of his teammate just up above. It'll be a 7-0 lead already. Things are looking comfortable here now for the CTs, and it'll be even more comfortable into this round, considering as there will be no real buy for Fangirls. They will have to go for the half buy, which is just upgraded pistols and some light armor. You can see it goes down to about $2,000 a player is generally where you want to sit in situations like this. You will get the full loss bonus coming in after this if you do lose the round. So you should be okay to try and take a few players with you. In the end, though, it doesn't matter because Schmidt is just flawless and manages to get himself a absolutely seamless 4K spray down. Effortless as it might seem, Schmidt is right there ready for it. Makes it look easy inside the smoke. 8-0 start. Very quick round. And Fangirls now finally get themselves back onto a buy. This is the state that you're going to be left in. It's going to be buy, eco, buy, eco, buy, eco, for as long as you maintain these losing ways here for Fangirls. And Vertigo really haven't shown too many cracks in the armor as of yet. But they're going to try and go for something quick here. Flashbangs are plentiful. It goes 1 for 1, but already out in towards the lobby. It's very aggressive trading. Now they just need to make sure they can turn to the right and left and clear out all the angles. It seems that whenever Fangirls are going to be on a buy, Vertigo throws something a little bit different at them. Last time it was the MP9 coming all the way on through. This time it's a straight rush in towards lobby from B. Peeking round the corner, Molotov at the feet of Signs. He's low enough as it is, can't afford to take any more damage. And then he takes a couple bit more from Azenji. Just Ron remaining with the AWP, no utility, but will want to try and save this one. As much as you can stow it away, the better. It'll give them at least something to work with into the coming rounds. Fangirls just going to be saving this one away. Ron is going to be the only player alive, and of course, Vertigo probably won't be too concerned about letting him hold on to this. I mean, they can definitely go for a few peeks on it if they realise where it is. Oh, that is suicide from Ron. He was safe, he was stable up there. He could have just hid away, but elects to jump on top. I don't know what he's thinking, to be honest with you there. That is very silly. Could definitely hold on to that AWP, but now doesn't have that option. Fangirls will be able to cobble something together here for the last of their remaining funds. You can see some players having to sit on towards the Galil. Just Ron, namely. He would have had the AWP if he wasn't such a melon with it. Already, though, lots of pressure outside here from Fangirls. And you can see TMS is going to try and take matters into his own hands, trying to beat them to the punch by getting down secret early. He's already grabbed one, manages to get away for a second, and a third. TMS has done it all by himself. The game sense, the knowledge, the cognizance and presence of mind to at least maneuver himself down through that vent in towards secret as quickly as he possibly could. Manages to net Vertigo Gaming 3 frags, and Fangirls, unfortunately here, don't really have much to work with. Plan will drop Ron, leaving just Signs 1 versus 5. He's grabbed 2 already. We'll get a bomb plant out of it too. Unless Puffin does more of his X-ray vision stuff. That bomb plant will be enough, I believe, to get something going into the next round. Whether they choose to just eco it so they can have a definitely good buy moving into round number 11 is something remains to be seen, but... Sorry, into round number 12. But I think with the cash that's just been afforded because of that bomb plant, they will buy again. Looks like Pitvel already wants to. Ron definitely has the funds to do so, and so does Sorrow. So everyone should be equipped here for Fangirls, but 10-0 start. It's not looking all that optimistic. Admittedly, it is the T side of Nuke, which is significantly less preferred at lower levels of play. But even still, this is something else. Already early damage being done by Schmidt. Is going to chuck an HE grenade in there for good measure and do some more. Azenji already getting aggressive in towards the hut position as well. A very patient approach here from Fangirls. They know that this is a big round for them. They've been thrown a lifeline with that bomb plant from Signs. They want to try and make the most of it. Want to try and utilize it and give themselves chance back in. That smoke is going to be far from ideal. That frag is going to be ideal. Finally, an advantage here for Fangirls. They've grabbed themselves the first frag. Depends how quickly it's going to be traded or how quickly Puffin is going to get himself shot on up. As he goes for a swing, manages to grab that one through the edge of the glass. Shatters it on his way through, but it's not to worry because now the T's are going to start to try and enter the A site. They're just feathering their way in for the time being. Pitvel's position here is rather important, but the one player that's going to be a potential spanner in the whole machine is Azenji. That flash is not going to be ideal. The baiting, the goading fire coming in from his teammate as well will enable him to get that first frag and look for the second. Plans dealt with another on towards the site. That was Pitvel from Mini. Now the only player remaining is Ron, and he was towards door. He's the bomb carrier, and he doesn't know what to do. He's stuck, he's cold, he's alone. And even when they find the first frag, Vertigo Gaming can stabilize so convincingly. Ron was able to get down the vent, but he's not going to be able to win the round, I'm afraid. Takes one to the grave with him. Gets another bomb plant, which again could afford Fangirls a lifeline buy. They won't be giving him AWPs or anything, but, you know, it gives them something to work with. Gives them AKs, possibly Galils if necessary. Already, though, this round, they've gone in with AKs and they've been met by equal fire. 3k for an AK in response. TMS grabs the fourth, and Ron, once again, is like, guys, can you stop dying before I even get there? Really would appreciate that. This time around, no bomb plant. This time around, no lifeline thrown towards them. See that Pitvel is just automatically tilt buying here. Not even thinking about what the rest of his team are going to do. He's just throwing that quick little F3 bind in, hitting straight towards the AK, and then just saying to his teammates, I've bought now, guys, you might as well. So it looks like maybe some signs of tilt coming in here from Fangirls, not really getting anything together, anything mobile, anything moving. Puffin already clinical with this AWP, has been since the start of the season, not really missing a beat. And that continues here on Nuke as he grabs one inside towards ramp. Now Vertigo, they do what they do best. They pump the brakes, they play patient, they wait for Fangirls to come to them on this T side. Because that really is their prerogative. That really is something that they have to do. And TMS stows himself away in the back of Garage, holds himself down for a lovely and easy frag onto Pitvel, removing one of the AKs from the round. Now removes the Scout to follow up on that with a lovely peek onto Signs. Final two players here for Fangirls. Just gently pushing themselves in towards the ramp room, but there's two players here to deal with. Puffin is one of them, and the second is Schmidt. And even though he's only got a few bullets left in the clip, he'll be able to very quickly dispatch with Ron. Lovely work from Schmidt. The AK is going to be kept around because they've got so much money they can reinvest that AWP. No need to go and reacquire it from the floor. And 13-0. Fangirls aren't really putting up much of a fight here. There's a lot to be said for it. Lovely bit of grenade damage going on early. Molotov to try and stop the cross. And there's a smoke missing here from the side of Fangirls. I'm not sure whether that's by design or it's actually someone just missing on their part of the plan. But already the cognizance of Puffin to know to go down here, to go and throw a line of defense in towards the B site from Secret, is quick to the draw already. Molotov's up and over, but in from the side of the vents, here comes Azanji with the assistance of some TMS damage, and Puffin down on the stairs, goading a perfect distraction. It's a 3K for the side of Vertigo. They've locked it up, and will soon shut it down, you'd imagine. A 2 versus 5 conversion is, for so far, the 13 rounds that have played out, been out the realms of possibility here for Fangirls, so my likelihood of it happening is probably not all that high. Another clean sweep for Vertigo as they look to now try and end the half flawlessly. 14-0. 20 frags for TMS and Azanji respectively as well, by the way. 3 frags on the meantime for Kazo. And only 4 for Sorrow. I think Kazo's only had the AWP in his hands once this map so far as well, which is really far from ideal. Vertigo going aggressive already, trying to drop some utility outside, but they're already going to try and get run down here by Fangirls, who do so with the UMP and a MAC-10, inflicting pretty good damage already. But plan, well, he doesn't need to plan ahead because he's got his teammates' support, and Kazo is just the only remaining player now. They've brought it to a 1 versus 2. Puffin and Schmidt are the 2 remaining players to try and hold this one to flawless, but seems that it's going to be a very quick plan inside the B site here for Kazo. They'll hear that now. Fangirls are going to be out of this one shortly because Vertigo are rotating their way in. Kazo just hides behind the silo. They're not going to be aware of this for the time being. With that smoke down as well, he really could be anywhere. But it looks like Schmidt has spotted him. Will call on the assistance of Puffin with the P250 and the AWP. Nade in behind. Somewhere inside that smoke he's there, boys. And they're going to find it. Schmidt grabs Kazo. A flawless half, a 15-0 run. And Fangirls are now 1 round away from getting 16-0'd, fellas. It is one of them. We pump the brakes for a minute at halftime. Take a chill. Here we go then. Into the second half. Whether it's going to be long or short-lived, all hangs on this pistol round. Vertigo Gaming so far have shown absolutely no signs of conceding anything like this. They are the kings of concession so far. 15-0. Vertigo just need the one. Be their second 16-0 of the season if they can grab it. Already smokes in towards the A site. Nicely placed through the windows. Now flashbangs over the top. Schmidt will have expended all of his utility, but already very aggressive plays coming in from Sorrow. It's, however, a full wrap round, and a bit of an overcommitment here. Unless they do come down the ramp behind them, which it looks like they will. CTs have actually managed to get themselves into the B site before the Ts do, which is quite nice. Signs will also get away. It will call on the assistance of his teammate inside the site, who's just going to still be stacked away in here. Now 3 players only alive here for Vertigo, one of which is already low on health. 2 players from the Fangirls side, though, are also considerably low. It's going to be a big performance in now from only Puffin. He's got to go 1 versus 3 and doesn't have a lot of health to do it. Looks like Fangirls will be able to pick up at least 1 round here. Unless Puffin pulls off some kind of miraculous 1 versus 3. He has 46 seconds to work with. Can rotate back up to the A site. But Ron will be waiting. He has a 5-7 and he is fully health. So really that Glock is not longed for this world, one can imagine. As soon as he peaks, he will be dead. And Fangirls get their first round, ladies and gentlemen. It comes only 15 rounds in. It won't be the 16-0 for Vertigo. They'll have to wait. See if they go for the force buy here. They will. So they're going to look to try and make it a 16-1. Not going to be a 16-0. But I fear this one might end up being 16-2 at the very least. 16-3. Because I'm not a big fan of second round force buys. I just don't think it's the right idea. You can get yourself a lot of advantages over the CTs on the T side by making yourselves available to buy in the third. Just my opinion. But hey, these pistols are doing big damage already. The Tech 9 and the Deagle have already opened things up well. It's a nice response here though from Signs and Sorrow, but the double S combo can't sustain the damage of Azanji and Puffin, who've managed to work their way in for 2-3 frags. Now, Sorrow is the only player remaining. It looks like it will be 16-1, but Sorrow still has 8 HP and an M4. Can try and clutch this one up in a 1 versus 2. He's already brought it down from a 1 versus 3. Azanji above him. Not that he's going to be aware of that. Schmidt ready and waiting with the P250 in hand. Execution for the 16-1. Fangirls will not really have much more to say about it, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be a lovely start, a lovely win, and something that they'll take on moving. Let's move those over for my F1. Yeah. So, a 16-1. I forgot what the score was already. It's a lovely start to the ESEA season for the side of Vertigo Gaming, only conceding 5 rounds so far. Currently looking very tasty. But the boys will be back in action on Wednesday at 7 o'clock British Standard Time. Not sure who they'll be facing off against, but they'll be back in ESEA Open, trying to go to 4-0 to start off their split. Anywho, that's it. Been it from myself, Bofferz. I'll see you on Wednesday at 7 o'clock BST. See you then.